What would your family do if you inherited everything they wanted most? Grandma Rose passed away on a Tuesday. By Thursday, my relatives had transformed into grieving angels overnight. The same people who had placed her in a nursing home and barely visited suddenly acted like they'd lost the most important person in their lives. I was 23, fresh out of college, buried in student loans. For 5 years, every weekend belonged to Grandma. We played cards, talked for hours, and she shared stories about building her textile business when women rarely owned one. Her mind stayed sharp until the very end. Then came the reading of her will. The lawyer announced that Grandma had left everything to me. Her home, her business, her investments, a total of $2.3 million. Aunt Linda nearly fainted. Uncle Mark insisted there had to be a mistake. My mother immediately claimed Grandma hadn't been thinking clearly, but I knew exactly why she'd made that choice. I was the only one who spent time with her because I loved her. Everyone else only visited when they needed money. The next morning, my cousin Janet called. She worked at a hospital and claimed she was worried about my mental health. Her voice sounded caring, the kind people use before trying to ruin your life. A week later, my family staged an intervention. Everyone sat in my mother's living room pretending to care. They'd already arranged for a psychiatrist my uncle knew. Dr. Harrison kept asking leading questions. Did I really believe I deserved the inheritance? Was I imagining things? Did I hear voices? Finally, he asked, "Do you honestly believe your grandmother intended to leave everything to you?" I answered calmly, "Yes, because that's exactly what her will says." He wrote something in his notebook, but my family had forgotten one thing. Grandma knew they would try this. 6 months before she died, she warned me, "They'll come after the money. They'll say you're crazy, or that I wasn't in my right mind." That's why we're recording this. With her lawyer beside her, Grandma recorded a video explaining every decision herself. She described how the family ignored her unless they wanted another loan. She explained why she trusted only me. I also had years of phone records showing I was the only family member who called regularly. Bank records proved I'd never asked her for money. Her doctors confirmed she remained mentally competent until her death. The hearing took place that Friday. My relatives arrived dressed in black, still pretending to be heartbroken. Dr. Harrison testified about my supposed instability. Then my lawyer played Grandma's video. She appeared calm, confident, and completely clear-minded. "If you're watching this," she said, "it means the vultures in my family are trying to steal from the only granddaughter who truly cared about me." For 12 minutes, she exposed them all. Aunt Linda's gambling, Uncle Mark's affair, my mother's shopping addiction funded by Grandma's loans. The courtroom went silent. The judge looked disgusted. Moments later, he ruled, "There is no evidence of mental incapacity. Case dismissed." Their plan collapsed instantly. Outside the courtroom, my mother grabbed my arm. "You're not part of this family anymore." I smiled. "That's okay. I'm building a better one." I used Grandma's business to fund scholarships for first-generation college students. Her house became a home for young adults leaving foster care. Last Christmas, 12 people sat around my table. Not family by blood, family by choice. We raised our glasses to Grandma Rose. She knew exactly who deserved her legacy. Not the relatives who only wanted her money, but the granddaughter who loved her without expecting anything in return. That Christmas, my relatives mailed me a card. I used it to light the fireplace.